The following portion of Fox 43 AM Live is sponsored by Electrical Specialists.
Well, when it comes to making your home look nice and having plenty of access to power, one question pops up a lot.
What are my options? Brandon Hogan with Electrical Specialists helps answer that question.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Ask Your Local Electrician. I'm Brandon with Electrical Specialist, and today we're going to be talking about options. We get a lot of calls and people asking whether it's plugs, switches, stuff like that. Lots has changed in the last 2 to 5 years, especially with technology and what the offerings are. So today we're going to be focusing on options when it comes to receptacles. So whether you have a broken plug or they're just out of style, it's actually suggested to change or update your plugs and switches and devices every 10 years. So whether you're just replacing one, I'm sure, as if you're like most of us, a full replacement is probably in the near future for you. So let's kind of jump into what we can do to make it easier to make those decisions. Now, we'll just jump into the first category of color. As you know, it used to be white or ivory. Light almond made a kind of its appearance in the 80s and stuck around for a decade or so. Then we went back to ivory. But in the last 5 years, with everything being online and people reaching out to an Amazon or other providers, lots more colors are actually available. You could find black, gray, light brown, dark brown, red, blue, gold. Really, if you want it, it's probably out there, and if it's not out there, you could probably have it made. So as far as colors, really anything is available. We could talk about style. With plugs, there's really only a couple options for you. You got your standard, which is the 2 circles on top of each other, or you've got Decora, which stands for decorator. It's the rectangular ones. They're more shiny. They're nice and clean, just more of a flush look. A lot of interior decorators use them to kind of spruce up a house or make it look a little more modern. Those are your basic 2 styles. Then we'll jump to the last one for receptacles, and that's going to be function. These days there's a lot more options than there were. Plugs aren't just plugs anymore. They can do a lot more. So let's just jump into a few options that you could do. Night lights, they've been around for a while. I'm sure when I was a kid, we used to have the ones you plug in. We'd put them in the hallway. The dog would break them. Just walking by, kicking them, they would break. They wouldn't shut themselves off. Now you could buy a plug that's actually got a light built into it. It turns itself off during the day and on at night. It's nice and flush with the wall so it doesn't get broken. Those are pretty handy to have, especially if you have kids. Next, we have options for charging. You can do a USB charging plug, a USB-C. Pretty much if it's a charger for anything for a phone or a tablet or computer, they make a plug that will do that for you. You could put it on the countertop. Nobody wants to be sitting in the kitchen watching something on their tablet and have it start dying and have to go to the bedroom to charge it. So they make all kinds of options to get those put in by the couch in the living room, on the countertop, like I said, to make it more convenient to charge. So anything you have that needs charge, they make a plug that has a charger built into it. The last couple things is we'll talk about countertops. A new thing in the industry is a clean backsplash. So above your countertop on the back, we used to have all your plugs and switches back there. People are kind of going away from that right now. They just want to see it clean. So what we're doing now is putting plug mold up above the cabinet. So you can, right underneath your uppers, so you could pretty much plug anything you want in. There's a lot more plugs. It's still GFCI protected, and you don't see anything until you actually plug, say, a blender or something in. Then you can unplug it and hide the cord when you're done. That's one option, as well as pop-up plugs are becoming pretty common, especially with the new codes and everything where you have to have plugs on the countertop. So if you've got no place to put them, or if you just like to hide your plugs, they have pop-up plugs which you just push a button. It either pops up all the way or folds open. There's many different styles. The downfalls, all they are hard to clean. They catch a lot of food, so you have to kind of do some maintenance with them. They do break But if you want something that's nice and flush and clean that you can just put away when you're done, pop-ups are a good way to go. Hey everybody, thanks for watching, hanging out with us. If you have any more questions or if you want to know more about any of these subjects we cover, go to our website at www.especialists.pro. There's tons of stuff on there to get you through it.
The preceding portion of Fox 43 AM Live was sponsored by Electrical Specialists.